Hello everyone. One of the main themes that came up with immigration or thinking about immigration is that people don't know how to start. They think it's difficult, they need to have specific jobs, or it's too late, or it's too expensive, or all variety of excuses. I heard so many excuses over the years from people that just not starting their immigration process. Already they know that something inside them tells them, wow, I want to live in that country, I want to live in that country and in this country. But eventually they keeping themselves years and years and years and years in the same situation, in the place they don't want to live, and nothing changes. So I always was attracted to different countries in the world. For me, never it made sense to live in one place all the time. Because the world is so big, it's so interesting how people live there and there and there. So I was never that person that will live in one place for all life. I think life is worth exploring. But that's not everyone. This is my thing. Anyway, so when I was 17, I decided I wanted to immigrate. For different reasons, I won't go to these reasons at the moment, but I decided I'm immigrating, no matter what, I'm immigrating. I didn't have a clue to which country I'm going to immigrate. I didn't have money, because I was 17. Well, I had some money, but not that amount that allowed me to probably immigrate to other country. I didn't have any occupation or profession or anything. My English was bad. I knew only Russian in quite low level, and Hebrew. And in how many countries Hebrew it's a language that kind of requires for immigration. So my English wasn't so good, and I wasn't confident in English. So I was looking at different countries: Australia, New Zealand, Canada, different countries in Europe, in Africa, South America. I didn't know where I want to immigrate. And also my exposure to overseas or abroad. My English is now not so well, but it's getting better. There is always place to improve. Anyway, so I was doing my research, and then you starting to meet people that also thinking about that process, because that's how it works in the world. When we have a decision, so the universe and circumstances, events, and people just come to you. Things starting to happen. Things started to get folded and more clear. So I started my research, and then I met a person who started to immigrate to Australia. And then he did everything he needs to do in order to immigrate there. He didn't know how to do it as well. And when I was looking at him doing this process from Israel, that he decided, oh, I want to immigrate from here. So I saw what he was doing, and then he actually went. And that was amazing. That was such inspiration for me. Look, that's possible. The person is actually doing that. But the thing is, the looking for a place and deciding for a place, it's part of the immigration process. Everything starts from a thought. So first of all, decision. I decided I'm immigrating no matter what. I didn't care about the circumstances and all the limiting beliefs that I just shared with you. No career, no money, too young, don't have the knowledge, confidence, English, whatever, all the excuses, yeah? Decision. I'm immigrating, doesn't matter. How? The how will come. Anyway, so I decided, yes, I want to go to Australia. I just decided, okay, Australia it is. And then I was checking, okay, I went to the immigration website of Australia, okay, so what are the pathways for immigration? I was basically living in an immigration Australia website, just living there, just studying, learning, reading until I was knowing so much things, and then that gave me direction. I knew the skill shortage list almost by heart. I knew about all the options, and then I chosen a profession that is in well demand for quite long term. I learned the social structures of Australia, and then that allowed me to have a choice, because I didn't want to become a professional in an area that I will be completely bored working with. For example, I didn't want to learn IT and programming. I'm born by that. I know it's a good profession, high skilled, but I can't sit in the office and just be in front of a computer all day. It's not my thing. But if I wanted just to immigrate by it, it was possible. But it was a damage to my soul, because I want to enjoy the process. Why can I have a profession that I really love and also immigrate by it? So that was my direction when I was in a process of immigration. So I choose a profession that will suit my needs, my current needs when I was 17, 18 years old. So eventually when I became early 20, I started my social work degree. And I decided to be a social worker, because social work, it's a well-demanded occupation in Australia. Perfect. So I started doing all that process, and I was doing that. I was studying the degree, and I knew, okay, in the end of these 3 years, when I finished my degree, I needed to do my English, and I didn't need any experience, and I just needed to apply for permanent residency in Australia, and that's it. I had enough points. So I had a plan already, and this plan started since I was 17. So it means I built myself to be a popular and well-demanded, that the country will want me, that the country will give me residence. So from nothing, I just made the decision that I'm going to immigrate, and then the pathway unfolded itself. So the initial decision was to immigrate from the country that I was living in. It was Israel in these times. And then the decision it became more precise. It's Australia. Then, after I finished my degree, so new opportunity came up. Working holiday visa between New Zealand and Israel. So that was part in a process of immigration to Australia. Why? Because that will allow me to work and travel in a new country. That will allow me to improve my English. Yeah? it's another life experience, and it's the closest country to Australia, so it's another step towards. So I said, alright, why not? So I applied for my working holiday visa to New Zealand, and luckily I got it. And I had 1 year to prepare myself financially, finish my degree in the third year of social work, and save enough money, and then come to New Zealand without knowing nothing about the country. Well, except from different pictures and something that I read on the internet. I was exactly like a lot of people right now. Okay, New Zealand. Okay, this is what I know, but believe me, you don't know anything about New Zealand until you actually will come here and live here for a while. You can't because you haven't experienced the life here in a different statuses. Life as a traveler, life as a student, life as a resident, life as an investor or business owner, the life's completely different for each person, for each status that you hold here. Anyway, so I came to New Zealand, and then my plan was working. Yeah, I was improving my English, I was a new place, I did a little bit of courses of English here as well, and I started to learn about the countries. And meanwhile, I was doing all that, I recognized, oh my god, this country is amazing, I want to live here. And then, wait, what about Australia? Oh, but Australia, it's alright. But my initial decision was to immigrate from the country. So, in that time, the decision was based, I must admit, from a bit of frustration and anger for the place that I was living in, because I wasn't felt that I was treated as I deserved to be treated in that country. A lot of different reasons and factors, but that was the main reason. And it's not really healthy to immigrate from such decision, but that was my motivation, that I said, okay, that's enough. That's enough. It was like a red line were crossed. But it wasn't like from very healthy place. But still, I'm happy that it happened, as long as it happened and it gave me the results. Anyway, so meanwhile I was in New Zealand. And my decision was updated. Yes, I want to immigrate to New Zealand. This will be my country. I did everything to immigrate here to New Zealand. Perfect. Luckily, social work was also in a well-demanded list here. That's alright. And while I was in this year of traveling, I did all my best to get work in social work, and during that year I was sending hundreds of CVs and cover letters. Nobody was replied to me, said yes, come to interview. Different reasons for that, but main reason, it's the limitation of my working holiday visa. This was the main reason. And of course other reasons, no experience, just recent graduate from overseas, all those reasons. And of course I was looking for other different pathways for immigration. But I must say, even eventually I got one interview, I was eventually didn't accepted for the reason that my English wasn't good enough. And I know that because I'm chasing people until they will give me the feedback why I didn't got accepted. Because I wanted to know. If I won't know, so how can I improve myself? How can I change something in order to promote myself to towards the goal? Feedback, it's crucial, it's a must, it's a part of the pathway. You must seek that feedback. That's how we're getting better and growing. Anyway, so I came back to Israel eventually. Because my visa expired, I needed to go back. And of course, how can you imagine what were my feelings when I came back? When I didn't want to. But that experience, all year experience, that I made all the possible mistakes of immigration, I figured out that it was part of the immigration still, because I learned so much, and the pathway to immigrate was a lot clearer to me, and that allowed me to build a plan that eventually today I became a resident, and soon permanent resident, and soon a citizen with a New Zealand passport. So people, please, no matter what is your situation today, you are able to immigrate to any country in the world. It's a matter of decision. Clear, precise decision. Good luck, everyone.